This young man is Li Xiangtian. To get revenge, he used the blood of a powerful exotic beast to summon the world's most domineering dragon pet. However, what he summoned was a pig. Not only that, but Xiangtian had previously been framed by others, had his cultivation crippled, and was locked in a cage for 3 years. Fortunately, through a fortuitous encounter, Xiangtian obtained the 7 strongest bloodlines, 12 types of peak professional skills, 36 sets of cultivation techniques, 72 of the strongest ultimate skills, and 108 Tao principles from all the heavens and 10,000 realms. So, how will Li Xiangtian begin his path of revenge? This was the 3rd year Li Xiangtian had been locked in an iron cage, suspended in the middle of the market. In everyone's eyes, he was nothing more than a useless cripple. His body inside the cage grew thinner with each passing year. Just when it seemed his end was near, he suddenly opened his eyes. The story of Xiangtian's humiliating imprisonment began 3 years ago. He had suffered an inexplicable injustice. To everyone, Xiangtian was just a prisoner who brought shame to the Li family, but who knew that for the past 3 years, the body they saw was merely his shell. His soul had followed his master, traveling through all the heavens and 10,000 realms. Now, it was time for him to return. He looked at his deteriorated body and said, "This body is really a bit worn out, no different from a corpse. I need to recover it quickly." Xiangtian ignored the gossip and discussions about him. He began to gather qi, retraining his body. Don't look down on Xiangtian's current dilapidated state. 3 years ago, he was the most proud young lord of the City Lord's mansion in Wind Snow City, possessing the serpent dragon bloodline. It shook the entire Qingzhou prefecture. And he was the childhood sweetheart of the direct daughter of the Luoyang City Lord, Lin Feier. They were a well-matched pair with an existing marriage contract. But unexpectedly, Feier deceived his feelings, secretly colluding with the eldest son of the Situ royal family, Situ Shui. Not only that, she framed him for assault. She even conspired with Situ Shui to steal his serpent dragon bloodline. His father, fearing the power of the Situ royal family and getting implicated, severed their blood ties, cut off their father-son relationship, and hung him in an iron cage in front of the city gate for 3 years. Feier had pushed Xiangtian to this point, yet she still brazenly stood before him, mocking him relentlessly. At that time, Xiangtian only wished he could kill that woman. And so, Xiangtian endured humiliation from the city's people day after day, hour after hour. But within misfortune, there was a silver lining. On an ordinary day, his master, Yi Feiling, appeared, separated his soul from his body, and took him to train everywhere with her. Since then, for these past few years, he had traveled with her through all the heavens and 10,000 realms, collecting secret techniques and cultivation methods, and increasing his knowledge. The time was ripe, and now, Xiangtian had officially made his comeback. In 3 years of cultivation, he returned with the 7 strongest bloodlines of the heavens, 12 types of peak professional skills, 36 sets of supreme cultivation techniques of the 10,000 realms, 72 of the strongest and most profound ultimate skills, and 108 Tao principles of chaos. Night fell. In a corner of Wind Snow City, a group of people appeared, wanting to take Xiangtian's life to help their second young master obtain the status of the Li family's direct eldest son. The group of them rushed forward, wanting to take Xiangtian's life. Xiangtian remained as calm as still water. He didn't even need to move. As the tips of their swords drew near, he gave a light wave of his hand, sending them flying. Not only that, but they were also injured by their own swords. Xiangtian flew out of the iron cage and asked them, "Who sent you?" The old man in the lead suddenly rushed forward, wanting to launch a lightning-fast attack on Xiangtian, but Xiangtian saw through his move. He simply put out his hand, blocked the man's sword, and shattered the bones in his arm, leaving the man in disbelief. Xiangtian had clearly become a cripple. His serpent dragon bloodline had been extracted, so how could he have such a powerful physical body? Xiangtian rushed forward again, asking him in return, "Why should I waste so many words on him? Now, welcome death." He struck the man's chest, and his life was instantly extinguished. His 2 underlings were terrified, hastily kowtowing and begging Xiangtian to spare their lives. One of them confessed that it was the second young master of the City Lord's mansion, his own younger brother Li Yangyao, who ordered them to take his life. Yangyao was willing to sacrifice his older brother to get a spot in Qingzhou Academy. Xiangtian turned and walked away. As he walked, he thought, the Qingzhou Academy's entrance examination happens once every 3 years, and the eldest son of each City Lord's mansion gets a chance for direct admission. That's why Yangyao wanted to kill him to take the status of the direct eldest son. He truly didn't expect his own younger brother to be so treacherous. That night, Xiangtian found a place to recuperate his body, after which he would go to the City Lord's mansion's side courtyard to find Xiaoqin, wondering how she was doing now. The next morning, Xiangtian continued to circulate his qi to heal his old wounds. To him, the most important thing right now was to increase his strength. He was determined to take back what had been stolen from him by Situ, Shui, and Feier. He said to himself, "Today, I must awaken the strongest bloodline of the beast race, the ancestral dragon bloodline. I will definitely make them tremble and kneel before my ancestral dragon bloodline." bloodline. The silhouette of a dragon appeared above him. Xiangtian looked up. Its pressure was immense. It was just a phantom image, yet it seemed as if it could crush the entire sky. In his years of travel with his master, he had never seen a true divine dragon. This method of cultivating the ancestral dragon bloodline was something he and his master obtained in a secret realm that appeared when the dragon race faced a calamity. Suddenly, a hole of light appeared in the sky, then fell straight down beside Xiangtian. A small, oinking piglet appeared before his eyes. Xiangtian's whole world collapsed. His face turned pale as he pointed at the pig, his face full of confusion, and said, "The strongest beast bloodline is a little piglet." Many question marks appeared in Xiangtian's mind. He wondered, could this be the spirit beast born from activating the ancestral dragon bloodline? The moment it appeared, the pig started acting arrogant, calling itself this divine beast, and ordering Xiangtian to come and help it up. Xiangtian sat down beside it. He started to find it strange. Why could a spirit beast talk, and in human language at that? It even seemed to be able to think independently. The pig openly looked down on Xiangtian, feeling extremely disgraced to have a master like him. Xiangtian once again asked the little pig, "Are you sure you are the spirit beast of the ancestral dragon bloodline?" Xiangtian still couldn't believe this pig was the ancestral dragon bloodline. Even if it wasn't as majestic as his previous serpent dragon bloodline, it couldn't possibly be a pig. The pig proactively jumped onto Xiangtian's shoulder, saying it was only in its juvenile state, and then urged Xiangtian to quickly find food for it. Xiangtian found it strange again. A spirit beast can get hungry? This was the first time he had heard of a spirit beast. Wanted to eat. He asked the pig what it wanted to eat, but the dishes the pig mentioned were all delicacies, and Xiangtian had no way to buy them for. The little pig became a bit sad and said to him, "Really not possible? A large amount of heavenly origin stones of unlimited grade would also be fine." Xiangtian didn't think this pig would be so demanding. He decided to turn a deaf ear to it, no matter what it demanded. Next, he ran to the side courtyard of the city lord's mansion to meet his little sister. Since he was locked in the sky prison, she had also been confined in the city lord's mansion. He was greatly looking forward to the reunion between the two siblings after 3 years of separation. Although Xiangtian called Xiaoqin his younger sister, they were not actually related by blood. He had saved her while hunting in the mountains and then brought her back to the city lord's mansion. Since then, Xiaoqin had lived in the city lord's mansion. His mother passed away when he was young, and his father was indifferent. Having Xiaoqin made his life more beautiful. But both he and Xiaoqin hid a huge secret, which was about her identity. Xiaoqin was actually the only daughter of the emperor of the Great Wu dynasty. The story goes back 8 years ago, when the Great Wu dynasty had an internal rebellion. The royal family fled everywhere, and overnight, the Great Wu dynasty collapsed, splitting into the 10 great royal families of today. To protect Xiaoqin's safety, the two of them had never told this secret to anyone else. Xiangtian pushed open the door to Xiaoqin's room, but no one answered him. The entire room was covered in dust, proving that no one had been here for a long time. He hurriedly ran out of the room. He would absolutely not spare anyone who dared to touch her. Just then, the son-only family concubine, Li Bahu, walked over. He aggressively said to Xiangtian, "I heard you escaped from the sky prison. Second Master Yang Yao told me to capture you." Xiangtian only wanted to know what Bahu had done to Xiaoqin. Bahu sauntered over and told Xiangtian not to be hasty. When he met Yang Yao, he would tell him Xiaoqin's whereabouts. Xiangtian couldn't help but feel indignant. He pointed straight at his face, reminding him of what happened 5 years ago. Who was it that fell off a cliff and broke their leg? Who was it that braved danger to find medicinal herbs to save his life? If it weren't for Xiaoqin, he would be a cripple now. Ba didn't care about the past. Times change, things are different, and besides, his status was only that of a concubine's son. If he didn't adapt to the times, it would be hard to survive. Bahu also revealed something else to Xiangtian. How can you call it repaying kindness with enmity? At least when she was taken away, I was the one who made 2 cuts on her face, disfiguring her, so she wouldn't be humiliated by the servants. Otherwise, how many men would your pure little sister Qin have been passed through by now? Then he cackled, making Xiangtian feel nothing but rage. Today, he would take both of his legs. Ba's killing intent surged. In his eyes, Xiangtian was just a cripple. What ability did he have to cripple his legs? He began to unleash his bloodline at Xiangtian, wanting to show Xiangtian how powerful he was. A fire ox appeared beside him, and with an extremely smug look, he pointed straight at Xiangtian. Before, you possessed the serpent dragon bloodline and were indeed exceptionally talented, but now your bloodline has been stolen. A cripple like you has no spirit beast bloodline at all. Xiangtian also had to show him a little of his ability. He unleashed his power, and an extraordinary aura emanated from him. But his spirit beast was not what he had imagined. The little pig appeared, falling onto Xiangtian's head, making him a laughingstock in front of Bahu and his subordinates. Xiangtian was not discouraged by their mockery. He thought, maybe I should test the power of this ancestral dragon bloodline. If the spirit beast it produces can't even take a single hit, I should probably switch to cultivating a different bloodline while I still can. The pig stood on Xiangtian's head and ran its mouth on the mic. It started cursing everyone present, shocking them all. It was unbelievable that a spirit beast could talk. Bahu was furious at being cursed by the pig. and not knowing where to vent his anger, he took it out on his servants. Bahu pointed at the pig and shouted, "A mere animal dares to curse me?" Then he ordered his spirit beast, the fire-patterned ox, to charge forward and turn this pig into a fake dog meat stew. He was extremely confident, certain that Xiang Tian couldn't defend against it, and he would personally hand Xiang Tian over. The pig was very calm. It flew into the air, ready to show this ox what it means to play with fire. The pig absorbed the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, then shot a stream of water it created at the ox. Bahu stared blankly, witnessing such a scene for the first time. Xiang Tian didn't know where to hide his face. He knew this pig couldn't fight properly. The pig let out a stream of water onto the ox's head, and the fire on the ox's body was thus extinguished. It then fell to the ground, to the astonishment of everyone present. Bahu was bewildered and shocked. How could something so absurd happen? The pig started to get cocky again. It said to Xiang Tian, "An ordinary ox would probably be drunk for 3 days and 3 nights after drinking my urine. Finish this quickly. I'm not participating anymore. After all, I'm still a baby. I'm out of energy." Xiang Tian couldn't believe this pig could do such shameless things. He thought over. The pig's strength wasn't bad. A puddle of urine could take care of a fire-patterned ox, which was somewhat surprising. His spirit beast attack having failed, Bahu hastily drew his sword. He swore he would capture Xiang Tian alive and hand him over to the second young master. His subordinates charged forward, with Bahu enthusiastically leading the way. In his mind, he still thought of Xiang Tian as a useless piece of trash. He was eager to see how Xiang Tian would fight back. Xiang Tian watched his actions and just curled the corner of his lips into a slight smile. Xiang Tian would show Bahu what it meant to lose all cultivation. He didn't even need a weapon, just 2 fingers full of qi. He used the flowing qi acupoint striking hand on each acupoint on Ba's chest, rendering him unable to move. His subordinates rushed forward, wanting to teach Xiang Tian a lesson for daring to harm their master. Xiang Tian didn't even bother to glance at them. He moved lightly behind them, his 2 hands striking 2 of their acupoints, and they were instantly immobilized. For the past 3 years, Xiang Tian had traveled everywhere with his master. It wasn't just for fun. He also learned the 7 strongest bloodlines of the heavens, 12 types of peak professional skills, 36 sets of supreme cultivation techniques of the 10,000 realms, 72 of the strongest and most profound ultimate skills, and 108 Tao principles of chaos. The flowing qi acupoint striking hand he just used was one of the 72 strongest and most profound ultimate skills. The characteristic of this ultimate skill is that it doesn't require much spiritual power to execute. It utilizes the principle of blood acupoints to instantly block the 8 extraordinary meridians, causing a person to immediately lose their ability to act. However, the drawback of this ultimate skill is also very clear. It is ineffective against many high-level cultivators, and moreover, if the meridians are damaged, one can forcibly open the blocked 8 extraordinary meridians. Xiang Tian walked up to Bahu, demanding he reveal Xiao Qin's whereabouts. Bahu still taunted Xiang Tian with a big mouth, saying he wasn't qualified to question him. Xiang Tian immediately gave him a resounding slap, once again asking him where Xiao Qin was. Bahu stubbornly refused to talk. Xiang Tian continued to slap his face. His face swelled up, tears streamed down, but he still wouldn't reveal Xiao Qin's whereabouts. Xiang Tian became even more forceful, continuously slapping his face, each question accompanied by a slap. Bahu collapsed in pain. He pointed to his swollen face. His voice choked as he answered Xiang Tian can't talk. Xiang Tian kicked him to the ground, demanding that if he couldn't talk, he should crawl on the ground and write. He then made the excuse of not having a pen or paper. Xiang Tian's patience had reached its limit. He gritted his teeth and told him, "If you don't have a pen and paper, then use your blood to write. You dare to harm Xiao Qin, I'll make all of you pay with blood." Bahu endured the pain and used his blood to write a few words on the ground. Xiao Qin was taken by Li Yangyao to Qingzhou Academy to be a slave. Xiang Tian was boiling with rage, channeling his anger into his foot on Bahu. This group of people dared to take Xiao Qin to Qingzhou to be a slave. This debt, he would definitely make them pay in blood. He looked at Bahu's body, trembling in pain. Both of his legs had also been crippled by him. He said to him, "I once said I would cripple both your legs. Now, we can consider ourselves to have nothing to do with each other." Witnessing Xiang Tian's murderous gaze, the subordinates no longer dared to be arrogant. They fearfully confessed that they were just following orders, begging Xiang Tian to spare their lives. Xiang Tian would spare them, but he demanded they give him valuable information. The subordinate recounted everything they knew to Xiang Tian. Today, Xiang Tian's father was holding a succession ceremony for the second eldest son at the city lord's mansion. He wanted to make the second young master of the mansion, the eldest son, expel Xiang Tian from the Li family, and later have the second young master succeed him as the city lord of Wind Snow City. This way, Yan Yao could secure the top spot at Qingzhou Academy and gain the qualification to join it. However, Xiang Tian had already heard this news before. It wasn't enough to buy his worthless life. On the surface, Xiang Tian appeared appeared calm, but his heart felt as if it were being squeezed. Although he had long been disappointed in this father of his, hearing this today still made his heart grow cold. Since it had come to this, he no longer needed to hold back. The remaining subordinate stammered to Xiangtian that he had another piece of news. He was originally an attendant by the second young master's side. He had once heard the second young master tell someone that a treasure had appeared in the Sanqing Mountains near Wind Snow City. The city lord immediately notified the Sidu royal family. After hearing the news, the Sidu royal family took it very seriously and sent many people over. After the eldest son's succession ceremony, they would go to the Sanqing Mountains to search for the treasure. The image of that adulterous pair, Situ, Shui, and Feier, immediately appeared in Xiangtian's mind. They had stolen his flood dragon bloodline. Today, they were still living freely at Qingzhou Academy, which was truly an eyesore. After learning this news, he left immediately. His heart was brewing with thoughts of revenge. He wouldn't let them be complacent for long. If his father, Yuan Ba, continued to bow and scrape to the Situ royal family like this, he would go and collect some interest first. As he walked, he thought the memories of the past were still deeply etched in his mind. 3 years ago, after his flood dragon bloodline was stolen, his cultivation stopped progressing. Even if his cultivation was fully restored, it would only be at the 5th level of the Qi opening realm. Compared to the peerless geniuses of all the heavens and 10,000 realms he saw during his travels, it was far too weak. Although he now had supreme cultivation techniques that could rapidly increase his strength, he also needed a large amount of cultivation resources. His immediate goal now was to reclaim the Tiger Head token of Qingzhou Academy, and then he would use every means possible to seize the secret treasure of the Sanqing Mountains. He hoped Xiaoqin would wait for him patiently. He would end everything here, obtain the Tiger Head token, and he would definitely join Qingzhou Academy to save her. At the same time, a magnificent horse-drawn carriage appeared on the street. Inside the carriage were the Medicine Emperor's personal disciple, Lu Shuyun, and her young maid, Xiao Tao. Xiao Tao saw her mistress's persistence and was very worried about her health, suggesting that Shuyun should consider the current situation. Moreover, they were about to arrive at the city lord's mansion. The person in the carriage was breaking through from the 9th rank of the mortal realm to become an earth realm alchemist. What if something went wrong? Shuyun reminded Xiao Tao not to disturb her. She could no longer suppress her alchemist realm. An alchemist breaking through from the mortal realm to the earth realm is a huge step. Since ancient times, 99% of alchemists have been unable to cross this stage, so right now, she could only focus all her efforts on breaking through. Xiao Tao became even more worried for Shuyun. Wasn't this situation too disadvantageous for Shuyun? How could Shuyun break through without the Medicine Emperor here? Moreover, she was only 16 years old. Other 16-year-olds hadn't even identified all the medicinal herbs yet, but Shuyun was about to break through to the Earth Realm Alchemist. This matter was so important. Not to mention needing the royal family's mansion lord to act as a guardian, she would also need the help of a dozen masters. Shuyun angrily cut Xiao Tao off, warning her that if she kept rambling, she herself might suffer from qi deviation and go berserk. The outside of the carriage began to glow, indicating that Shuyun was entering a critical stage. Xiao Tao prayed to the heavens, hoping her young mistress could successfully break through. At the same time, Xiangtian happened to walk by and accidentally saw Shuyun's carriage. As soon as he saw the aura emanating from within, he immediately guessed that someone was about to break through. He stood there observing silently, feeling very puzzled. In his understanding, breaking through in a carriage seemed to be the critical moment of breaking through from the 9th rank of the mortal realm to become an earth realm alchemist. He wondered, what kind of master's technique is this? Or did they have a problem with their head to choose a carriage to break through in? Inside the carriage, Shuyun could no longer suppress it. She asked Xiao Tao to act as her guardian. The aura from her body burst forth, and the carriage exploded. Xiangtian still hadn't left. He watched the way Shuyun was breaking through and thought she was having problems. He was even more surprised that the person breaking through was a young girl. He praised her under his breath. To break through to an Earth Realm alchemist at such a young age, she would be considered a prodigy even in all the heavens and 10,000 realms, because cultivating as an alchemist is extremely difficult. Shuyun's cultivation process seemed to have a problem. She vomited blood, causing Xiao Tao to become extremely alarmed. Xiao Tao didn't know what to do next. They didn't have the Medicine Emperor here, and they couldn't find the royal family's mansion lord right away. Shuyun panted heavily. This time, she was afraid she was really in danger. Xiangtian suddenly rushed in. Xiao Tao went on guard, thinking Xiangtian had bad intentions. She immediately turned around, preparing to attack Xiangtian. Before he could even explain, he was attacked by Xiao Tao. She struck Xiangtian's chest with her palm, and he was pushed back. Xiao Tao pointed at Xiangtian and shouted, "How audacious, daring to ambush my young mistress. Be careful, or I'll snap your head off." Xiangtian looked at her, stunned. He didn't think a girl could say such things. He fell into thought again. Xiao Tao's attack just now made him suspicious. Was she really a maid? That one punch gave him a feeling of unfathomable depth. He didn't even get this feeling from City Lord Yuan Ba. He feared that Xiao Tao's cultivation had already entered the great cultivator realm. Xiang Tian stood still, ignoring Xiao Tao's harsh curses. Xiang Tian clearly introduced himself to Xiao Tao. "My name is Li Xiang Tian, not some dog. I'm here to help your young mistress." Xiao Tao was seething with killing intent. She got into a defensive stance again, still not believing Xiang Tian's words, and once again demanded he reveal his identity, or else don't blame her for being ruthless. Xiang Tian pointed towards Shu Yun. Whether Xiao Tao believed him or not, Shu Yun was about to die. The expression on Shu Yun's face was extremely pale, and her whole body was trembling. Xiao Tao rushed over, crying her eyes out, continuously shaking Shu Yun's shoulders. She really didn't want her young mistress to die. Xiang Tian stepped forward, pushed Xiao Tao away, and said if she kept shaking her, Shu Yun would definitely die for real. He let Shu Yun lean against him, then asked Xiao Tao to guard him. He warned Xiao Tao, "Your lady's situation is very critical. If she cannot successfully enter the earth realm of pharmacists, she will be crippled even if she doesn't die." Xiang Tian had Shu Yun sit opposite him and began to gather his qi. He possessed 12 peak professional skills, and pharmacist was one of them. Although he had never cultivated the pharmacist lineage, he knew the peak theories of pharmacists like the back of his hand and was confident he could help her break through smoothly. Breakthrough. He also understood one thing. Cultivating as a pharmacist was not like ordinary cultivation. It required the condensation of special medicinal spirit meridians. He saw that Shu Yun, sitting in front of him, had broken through to the earth realm of pharmacists too suddenly and was unprepared. Her medicinal spirit meridians were blocked. He just needed to follow his memories to help her clear her meridians. He gathered his qi and touched Shu Yun's abdomen, which made the watching Xiao Tao furious, thinking Xiang Tian wanted to take advantage of her lady. Shu Yun gradually regained her composure. She reminded Xiao Tao not to speak and to let this Xiang Tian continue. Shu Yun could feel that Xiang Tian's technique was incredibly special, causing the chaotic spiritual power inside her body to slowly come together. She said to Xiang Tian, "Please continue. For your great kindness, Shu Yun has no words to repay you." Xiang Tian suddenly placed his hand on Shu Yun's chest to help her clear her meridians. But in Xiao Tao's eyes, this action was not normal at all, and she couldn't help but blurt out inappropriate words. "Speak." Shu Yun had to speak up again, demanding that Xiao Tao not insult Xiang Tian. "Speak of the pig, and the pig shall appear." The piglet appeared to everyone's astonishment. 1. As soon as Xiao Tao saw the pig, she became agitated. "My lady, look, I wasn't wrong. This guy's bloodline spirit beast is a pig." The piglet was furious. It pointed at Xiao Tao's face and shouted even louder than her, "You're the pig. I am a divine dragon." Xiao Tao laughed inwardly. It was clearly a pig in front of her, yet it dared to loudly proclaim it was a dragon. Both Xiao Tao and the little pig kept bickering, making Xiang Tian and Shu Yun extremely annoyed, and they both shouted for them to shut up. At the same time, a moment later, using all his experience, Xiang Tian was able to help Shu Yun calm down. He could feel that the spirit meridians of the girl in front of him could take form. She was truly not just ordinarily strong. Perhaps her true identity was not as simple as it seemed. Shu Yun opened her eyes. She had finally broken through. Xiao Tao excitedly ran over, continuously praising her lady. "This is great. You've broken through to the earth realm, my lady." Back then, the pharmacist emperor was over 30 when he broke through. This time, you're truly a genius of all time. Shu Yun stepped down and bowed her head to thank Xiang Tian. It was thanks to him that she was able to break through successfully. She didn't know how to address him by his esteemed name. She said to him, "This time, our pharmacist emperor lineage owes you a favor. If you have any requests in the future, you could just say so. My pharmacist emperor lineage will definitely do our utmost to fulfill it." Xiang Tian politely introduced himself. "I am Li Xiang Tian. You don't have to be so polite, Shu Yun. It is still your superior aptitude. If it were an ordinary pharmacist, I'm afraid, even with my help, they couldn't have passed through so smoothly." Xiao Tao quickly interjected, still using her arrogant tone to reply. To Xiang Tian, Shu Yun turned her head to look at her, demanding she not speak so rudely. Just now, when Xiang Tian helped her break through, she felt that the thing Xiang Tian did looked very easy, but his technique was extremely proficient. She had only felt such a masterful technique from her master, who could easily control the meridians in a pharmacist's body. Shu Yun ventured to ask him, "If I'm not mistaken, young Master Li's level in the pharmacist lineage is probably far beyond mine, right?" Xiao Tao was stunned to hear this. In her eyes, her lady was number one, and now she was hearing such word from her with her own ears. Xiang Tian humbly told Shu Yun she had misunderstood, that he had actually only done some theoretical research on pharmacists. Since Xiang Tian said so, she didn't want to ask more. From her waist, She took out a token and said to him, "This is my pharmacist emperor token. My master is usually very interested in the theories of pharmacists. In the future, if you are free, young master, you can use this token to visit the pharmacist manor as a guest." Xiang Tian took the token from Shu Yun and promised her that he would definitely visit in the future. Shu Yun looked at Xiang Tian's appearance and guessed that he was probably older than her, so she called Xiang Tian brother Xiang Tian and told him to just call her Shu Yun. Xiao Tao was tearing her hair out. Before her was a sky full of confusion. Her lady was normally cold and arrogant. Now she had become so friendly, going out on one trip and gaining a little big brother. How could she explain this to the pharmacist emperor when she got back? Xiao Tao's heart was burning with anger. She just wanted to quickly separate her lady from Xiang Tian, but on the outside, she tried to remain calm and said, "It's getting late. The city lord's mansion must be waiting. We should hurry over there. The succession ceremony or whatever is waiting for you." Hearing this, Xiang Tian said to her, "You want to go to the city lord's mansion?" Then he suggested going there with her, looking at her with a sharp gaze. After just a few seconds of meeting, and given Shu Yun's current level, he guessed her background was definitely extraordinary. The pharmacist emperor was a peerless figure, dozens of times more powerful than the lord of an imperial mansion. He just didn't know if Lu Shuyun's visit this time was simply to attend the succession ceremony, or if it was related to the secret treasure of Sanqing Mountain. Shuyun's heart blossomed, and she suggested that Xiang Tian go with her to the mansion. She instructed Xiao Tao to quickly prepare another horse carriage. The two of them would go there with Xiang Tian. Xiao Tao originally wanted to separate her lady from Xiang Tian, but unexpectedly, she ended up making Xiang Tian go with Shu Yun to the city lords. This move was something she truly could not have anticipated. Xiao Tao was screaming internally. She was certain that Xiang Tian wanted to cling to her lady, and her mission was to not let a lecherous pig like Xiang Tian harass Shu Yun, to protect Shu Yun's chastity to the death. At the city lord's mansion, Yuan Zhen and his son Yang Yao were joyfully awaiting their esteemed guests. Yang Yao impatiently asked his father when his eldest son's succession ceremony would begin. His father stroked his beard and soothed his son. "Don't be impatient. We are waiting for a very important person to arrive. With this person's validation, his eldest son's succession ceremony will be perfect, and others will not dare to gossip." A question arose in Yang Yao's heart. He asked Yuan Zhen, "Father, this time because of the Sanqing Mountain secret treasure, many young geniuses from the Situ Imperial Mansion have come. Is there someone even more formidable than them?" In Yuan Zhen's eyes, that person was even more formidable than the Situ Imperial Mansion, with an incredibly high status, being the true disciple of the Pharmacist Emperor. And the Pharmacist Emperor is a legendary, supreme figure, on par with the lords of the 10 great Imperial Mansions, not to mention. As soon as Yang Yao heard this, he could sense that the girl his father spoke of was incredibly formidable. Yuan Zhen introduced this girl to his son. This woman's name is Lu Shuyun. At only 16 years old, she has reached the 9th grade pharmacist realm. It can be said that no one can compare to her. She was chosen by the Pharmacist Emperor to be the next Pharmacist Emperor. He began to compare Shu Yun with Lin Feier, and he instructed Yang Yao, "This time the secret treasure has appeared. Miss Lu will definitely go there too. This could be an opportunity." Although Miss Lu is a genius, she is still only 16 years old, doesn't understand the ways of the world, and has a simple mind. You are not without a chance. Once you gain Shu Yun's favor, our Fengshua city will also rise to the heavens in one step. Yang Yao firmly assured Yuan Zhen. He knew what he would do, unlike that Wei Xiang Tian. Speaking of Xiang Tian, Yuan Zhen cut him off, just as Shu Yun's carriage arrived. The father and son went to welcome her together. Shu Yun stepped out of the carriage. As soon as Yuan Jin saw her, his face immediately lit up. She was even more formidable than the rumors. At only 16, she had already advanced to the Earth realm of pharmacists. He excitedly said to Yang Yao, "We have still underestimated the young lady's unparalleled talent. I didn't expect her to have already broken through to the pharmacist realm. It's truly unbelievable." Yang Yao was screaming in his heart. He told himself he must win Shu Yun's smile. The cheerful atmosphere was broken when Xiang Tian stepped out of the carriage. Both Yuan Zhen and Yang Yao froze as they stared at him. The attitude of Yang Yao's father and brother surprised Shu Yun. She asked curiously, "City Lord, do you know Brother Xiang Tian?" The 3 words Brother Xiang Tian coming from Shu Yun's mouth made Yuan Zhen and Yang Yao even more shocked. Yuan Zhen's attitude was extremely tense. He ventured to ask why Shu Yun came here with Xiang Tian. Shu Yun explained to him, "Brother Xiang Tian happened to be coming to the City Lord's mansion as well, so I came with him since it was on the way." He continued to ask, "In that case, Miss Lu and Xiang Tian met halfway and haven't known each other for long." Shu Yun found it strange. She didn't understand why he was asking this. Was there a problem? Yang Yao loudly pointed directly at Xiang Tian's face. "Miss Lu, don't be deceived by this piece of trash. He is a piece of trash, the rebellious son of our City Lord's mansion. Even the man who gave birth to Xiang Tian didn't accept him." He frowned and scolded him, "Li Xiang Tian, I still haven't held you accountable for the crime of escaping from the sky prison, yet you dare to come here. Do you know what today's great event is?" Shu Yun didn't understand what was happening. She asked everyone in confusion, "Do you all know each other?" Not only did Xiang Tian not hide, he stepped forward to answer, "Of course I know. I came precisely for this matter." He turned his face to Shu Yun and said, "This is my private matter. Just let me handle it." Yang Yao loudly berated Xiang Tian. "Xiang Tian, I know you are unwilling to have your position as the eldest son taken away, but today you are just the discarded son of the City Lord's mansion. Even if you object to this, it's useless. Miley family doesn't need a good-for-nothing, a waste who brings disaster upon himself." The corner of Xiang Tian's mouth curled up. He told them not to misunderstand, then raised his head and said to the two who were once his family, "Right now, the Li family is no better than a pigsty or a dog kennel to me. Why would I object?" In Yang Yao's eyes, Xiang Tian was the one who had seduced Shu Yun into bringing him here. Xiang Tian took out a golden scroll from his robe. He calmly said to them, "Didn't you want to take away my status as the eldest son and sever ties with me? If we're going to sever ties, we must do it cleanly." Then he threw the scroll up. The people here were extremely shocked to see Xiang Tian's scroll. Isn't that the spirit communicating vow book? Once an oath is made before this book, it becomes a vow before the heavenly Tao, and the oath can never be broken. For Xiang Tian to take this step, was it like a slap in the City Lord's face? Xiang Tian stood before everyone and declared, "I, Li Xiang Tian, from this day forward, sever all relations with everyone in the City Lord's mansion. From now on, I will repay all grudges and settle all scores, without a shred of affection left. If I break this vow, may the gods in heaven strike me down in anger." A bolt of lightning flashed in the sky. The oath